Stripe bought OpenRouter for $7.5 billion. Not sure how many people have that on their bingo card for 2026. So I'm curious your guys' take on justifying that price and justifying the fit of OpenRouter within Stripe.
Yeah, because I had also heard at one point, I don't know if this was just scuttlebutt or whatever, that Amazon was, in talks for doing that one or even higher, so it's interesting that it ended up with Stripe.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes a ton of sense for Stripe from a business perspective. Is the price right? I think if it turns out that this is as big as it could be, then the price is easily, it's cheap, the same way that YouTube looked cheap and Instagram looked cheap at the time. Um, so really the question is like, do they continue to dominate and will the growth still be there, which I would generally be bullish that will continue. Um, but I think like the thing that they, I think, figured out is it's not really a technology so much as it's like a service that helps you live a better life as a developer, right? And so in a sense, it's just an aggregator, but the power of being an aggregator is you sort of take the position that I don't really care who wins. I think there's going to be lots of winners. I just want to help simplify somebody's life, this developer's life, to be able to try all of the, let a thousand flowers bloom, and I can swap in and try this one or that one or anyone that gets popular. And so it's a position where you have a lot of leverage and power over what happens in the ecosystem when you're responsible for the routing. And if you believe that all of these models are going to be close to each other, they're going to be like, in breakneck who's in the lead this week and next week, and there's not going to be one dominant that breaks out and rules them all, but it's going to be, maybe 1,000 different great models, and some are open source, and some are frontier, and some are closed. It's nicer to just have one customer relationship with OpenRouter, and then they can do all the messy integrations and routing, and all there's lots of opportunities there. And automated model selection as a subset of model routing is an important one where you can create a lot of economic value. So I think that as a concept, I'm bullish on the concept of model routing as an important layer. Um, why specifically Stripe? I think if you look like Stripe's business is basically developer tools, right? It's like developer payments and probably the combination of like the developer tooling that is required to make payments work in a sense like tokens is in a sense the new payments is one way to look at it, I think. And tokens are growing much faster probably than payments in terms of usage and economic value. Um, and I believe Stripe was the payment processor and is this payment processor for OpenRouter. So when you look at OpenRouter, you actually have a little bit of like, 1 + 1 = 3 because Stripe is capturing their take on each of those token transactions and OpenRouter is capturing their take. But that also means if you can collapse those into one org,
Yeah.
and you can lower the take rate overall, you can actually subsidize and grow the market and actually further solidify your position in the market where everybody says, "Hey, look, I get the best deals here. It's easiest to use. I'm just going to keep using it." So I think there's a strong argument for why Stripe themselves would be a really strong acquirer of OpenRouter.
So one comment on that. I mean, if you think about, you know, to your point, they can compress margins and basically make it prohibitively expensive for other normal companies to compete because they can, obviously eat into their own payment processing margin. So that is like a huge advantage, especially once they get scale. If you don't have your own payment processor, it's going to be hard to compete with Stripe. Having said that, it seems to me thinking in the future where we're going, that one possible way to compete with them is, obviously what's the cheapest payment processing in the world? Still the Lightning Network. And so we have a ways to go, and, like, that was kind of my point. Yeah, we haven't gotten there with, L402. It's still a minimal subset compared to the other more expensive centralized chains, but if I think about where the puck is going, if it really comes down to this is a commodity play and, it's just gonna come down to the cheapest payment processing, then ultimately I still wanna bet on, a more open lightning-powered version of this. Is that a year out, 10 years out? I don't know, but, yeah.
I
Another
think we
quick
need to drive demand though from developers, like because developers get to decide, do I use OpenRouter? Do I use a direct relationship with Anthropic or OpenAI or somebody else. Open code is a big growthy one these days, which lets you do open source model routing across their IDE. So I think it's not just the cheapest token. You should not like discount the developer experience. People love to
Sure.
just like have one swipe a card one place, get a single API key and be able to do everything. And so I think if you want to paint the case for why the margin of the payments go away, you have to have a relevant, related kind of
Yeah.
case existing why the developer demand for that solution will exist. Does
I
it
mean,
simplify something? Does it enable something they couldn't do before?
well, and I think another area that could go in the future, right, is, the permissionless piece, right? So, I think, there's that Nostr-based one, Routester, which is kind of interesting. I haven't followed them super closely lately, but, I could totally see a world where something like that that's using Lightning in the backend could take off in a few different circumstances. One, let's say Chinese models got banned or something like that in, like, a sort of
Mhm.
geopolitical situation, and that's the only issue they'll still use it. What the hell that was. 2, if you like, I always come back to this, like, where do I think Bitcoin, the permissionless protocols are really gonna win? Once the agents are truly autonomous, like, once they're out there doing their own thing. My guess is in this sort of world where it's still just like a tool for the developer, and it's all sort of permission and sanction, Stripe is gonna win. But once it starts being like there's this digital life form and needs to access its own model calling capabilities and
Yeah.
manage its own payments, and, like, it's not fully regulated because we don't even know what it is yet, like, that new kind of gray area when that emerges, that's where I think sort of the permissionless protocol stack and projects built on top of them, like a Routester, have a chance to really
Yeah,
shine.
totally, and so I think that's the kind of thing where the developer experience for that style of developer or payer, that's not solvable in the traditional way, and I think that's where I think the optimism for a Lightning solution could come from, but we need to in a sense, we need to develop those solutions that create that kind of demand, that digital life form that has demand for its own kind of payment.
Well, and I keep coming back to this, and I was actually talking to the Alby guys about this with their new product. I didn't mention this to them, but for those listening who are more in these permissionless protocol worlds, maybe the real place to start is some way of like a platform or a site for spinning up and capitalizing your AIs. In fact, I didn't read the whole post, but on Stacker News I saw Tyler Cowen had a new post out about like what he called capitalizing untethered agents, which is like
Hmm.
is slightly more normie way of saying, creating digital life. And it's interesting because it's like he kept I mean, I just skimmed it, so I want to give it a bit of a deeper read. Actually, he would be someone cool to get to come to the summit, but I feel like he's kind of directionally going there, but is not willing to or has not yet considered, like, fully just, like, let her rip scenario because he keeps saying he's like, "Well, in order for any of this to work, it still needs to be somehow, humans have the sort of, like, ability to revoke things, or somehow it needs to be able to tie into the legal system." It's like, maybe, but in a world where you really have trillions of autonomous life forces, I am super skeptical that, like, the legal system is gonna apply for a trillion digital life forms. Like, I just don't like, I think we will need ways to adjudicate. There probably still will be some ways to tie into, like, for really big cases, human legibility, but my guess is, work around exploring Bitcoin collateral and slashing more native ways to adjudicate is gonna be
Mhm.
much more promising, and I don't really think anyone in that mainstream world is thinking that far yet.
Let
Right.
me
I
poke.
didn't Oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I was gonna say I didn't catch the blog post, but I did queue up, Tyler Cowen just showed up on the, Rick Rubin Tetragrammaton
Oh,
podcast,
boy.
so
Sure they'll have an
you wanna
interesting
get yeah,
conversation.
I think that'll be a good one.
Vibers vibing the vibers.
So I want
Right,
to
right.
poke a bit more at the $7.5 billion valuation,
Yeah,
or just the value there.
yeah.
I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are on like the commercial business versus open source. So, for example, there's already like Goose has open source software for provider and model selection that has very expansive support for different providers and models. Um, NVIDIA has a open source project called Switchyard, which does far more advanced, as far as I know, far more advanced model routing than what OpenRouter has. But like, why? If we assume that open source already has or will have the same feature set and capabilities as OpenRouter, then why wouldn't like what's the moat for a
I mean,
commercial business?
I think the moat for a commercial business, today is just like the more volume you drive, the better pricing you get on the non-open source stuff, maybe even on the open source inference stuff. Because like the
Yeah.
open source people assume open source means free. Open source means you don't pay for research that amortized over the cost of your tokens, but you still pay for the infrastructure. And
Inference.
sometimes
Yeah.
it's not as efficient at inference in many cases. So it's more expensive inference than you might have in kind of the closed source stuff. So I think it's more like, look, if you're an aggregation point, you get to do a special deal with OpenAI and get better pricing, and you get to do a special deal with Anthropic and get better pricing. And you get to, you get to run open source. Maybe you run it on your own infrastructure. Maybe you work with another provider and you just drive volume and get better pricing. So I think just like any aggregation point, like it looks kind of thin, but the strength actually comes from the volume and how you get to sort of wedge yourself deeper the more that each of those sides plays along with your sort of aggregation role. It's not to say that OpenRouter has this unassailable advantage. I think they're very, very strong. I think we could see a second or a third. I think, like for example, I shared. Do you know the company Ramp? They're
Sure.
a spend management platform. They just launched router.com the same day that the OpenRouter transaction closed. And it's, I think, a very credible solution for routing, but it's more instead of its developer first bottoms up adoption, they have a ton of huge enterprises and they've been doing spend management for enterprises forever. And now they can go to them and say, look, router.com, run all of your inference through us, through router.com, and we'll do all the deals and get better, pricing for you than anybody else, and it'll plug into our spend management stuff natively. So the I think those are different, very different customer bases, different approaches to routing. I think open code is a very good open source router that simplifies that problem again. So I don't think it's like guaranteed that it's one winner take all. There's probably lots of opportunities, but I think getting breakout when when the market's already noisy and busy here, or if it's coupled to other tools or something, I think is probably going to be a tougher road.
Matt Belez comments Vercel AI Gateway is another one, so add that to the mix.
Oh,
But
cool.
what are your thoughts on, I mean, you're speaking of, like, volume and aggregation point. What are your thoughts on open source projects being able to become that aggregation point, whether it be Goose or Buzz or something like that?
Well, I guess like why would it feels like with when I used Goose, I was using it with OpenRouter. Maybe there's a separate routing native to Goose now, but I was not aware of it. But I've used it with OpenRouter as the router. So Goose, in my mind, sort of plays a different role. Maybe Goose as a development
But
kit
you can
could
imagine
do
a
routing.
router being in Buzz or Goose or
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
you already mentioned OpenCode, you said has
yeah,
one, right?
I
So,
yeah,
yeah, so you don't have to imagine it, it has one. So,
I mean,
but that's a but who so OpenCode is open source, right? But there's a
yeah,
company behind it as well. So that
yeah,
company is a way they're monetizing it is that they have a router and they're making money off of that.
yeah,
So you can
yeah,
imagine Buzz is open source, but whether it be Block
yeah.
or some other company, like we could create a
router.
routing company ourselves and then plug it into Buzz
That's when
as
when
long
I
as the
saw
open
Buzz, to me that screams like this is the business model for Buzz is be
Yeah,
a
I agree.
router. Yeah,